Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to film a little video. I was thinking I would do like a bake with me and I thought that would be a lot of fun. I have a lot of apples I need to use for baking and I thought it might be fun to film what I'm doing, but I wasn't planning on actually doing like a day with me sort of vlog, but I think I also may have to go to Target today and I may go do some food shopping, and I thought I would also tell you guys a little bit of a mishap that I have been having in this house, and I'm so frustrated. I don't know what to do. There are fruit flies everywhere in my kitchen. And like, it's not horrible. But every day, I feel like I've been dealing with this issue. I've been seeing fruit flies for 4 days or 5 days. And like the first day there were like 1 or 2 and I was like, oh, maybe the bananas I had were bad, so I threw out the bananas I had. The next day there were more and I was like, what the heck is this? So I started looking around and I was like, well, maybe it's just because the bananas are in the trash. I'd like put them in a smaller bag and tied it up and then put it in the bigger trash, that if there were more flies like in the bananas or something, then they wouldn't be like coming out of the trash. So then I took the trash out, and then yesterday there were more, and I wasn't in the house much, so I didn't really do too much about it. And then I woke up today and there were even more, and I was like, fuck this. I'm so tired of this. I looked everywhere. I called my mom and I was like, help me. I don't know what to do. And she was like walking me through. I like pulled the microwave out. There was nothing. I looked under the oven. There was nothing. I don't have to worry about anything in the fridge because I go through it every week before trash day, so there's nothing like spoiled in the fridge. There's nothing in the freezer. I looked everywhere. I looked in the cabinets. I looked out in the garage. I looked in the closet to see if like my uncle and cousin, they visited a week or 2 ago, or 2 weeks by now, and I was like, did they accidentally drop something somewhere and now it's rotten? But I swear I've looked everywhere. I looked behind the washer and dryer. There's nothing. So my mom was like, well, maybe it's the sink. And my sink, maybe I'll show you. It's like a double sink, and like the one side is where I like wash the dishes, and then the other side is where I have a little dish rack where I put all the clean dishes. But when my uncle was here in the last couple of weeks, I've been making a lot of apple things and a lot of fruit breads and pies, and there's been a lot of peels, so my mom was like, well, maybe something slipped down where it shouldn't have gone in the drain. And so I was like, great. So I poured boiling water down both the drains. I washed out both sides of the sink. I moved the dishes. I'm probably going to change up my dishwashing situation because I just don't think that's going to work anymore, keeping the dish rack in the other side of the sink, because I don't want to deal with this like every couple of months. I like poured boiling water down the drains. I washed them. I have to like wash the little stopper, the little drain stopper, because it's really disgusting, but I really don't want to. I'm kind of putting that off. But I did all that. That was quite an adventure this morning. But today I was thinking I would go to the grocery store, I would go to Target because I need face wash and a couple other things. And I kind of want to look at, like, I just want to wander, look at decorations and things like that. And then I thought I would do a little bit of baking. That was my original plan today. I was going to film a baking video, but I woke up and there were so many fruit flies in the kitchen this morning. I was like, I don't want to be hanging out with like 15 fruit flies. We're not buddies. So, oh man, maybe I'll just deal with it. Maybe I'll bring you into the kitchen and I'll show you the situation, because they're all kind of like hanging out on the like ceiling. Why are they on the ceiling? There's nothing wrong with the ceiling. I'm sorry. The reason why I was in the living room when I was telling you this story is because my washing machine is going in it. She's loud. She likes to make a racket. So, but where did they go? They're not even on the ceiling anymore. Oh my god. You don't belong here. Like, I don't understand. But here's the most likely culprit. I'm hanging out in my kitchen trying to see where these little motherfuckers are coming from. They're not coming from anywhere. I've looked everywhere. And I have to like restrain myself from being, there's my washer again. I have to restrain myself from being the crazy woman who just like runs around a slide shoe in my hand, just like whacking these things down. Because what I thought I would do, my original concept for this video is I was going to do like a bunch of apple recipes. I was going to do applesauce and maybe like an apple pie and maybe an apple cake. I may still do that. So that may be the majority of this video, and this beginning is just me complaining because I'm annoying. But I'm gonna move because my washer is very noisy. Alright, here's my breakfast with some coconut yogurt and berries and granola, and then my coffee. And I'm currently watching old Rohini Elise Vlogmas videos from last year, the good old days where we didn't have to wear masks to Target, and I think that's what I'm gonna do before I head out. I'm probably gonna let my phone charge because filming always drains the battery, so I'll probably plug this in before I go for a little while, and then yeah, just run a couple errands. I'll probably show you my outfit before I go. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I'm excited about my jeans because they're the jeans that I showed you in the last vlog in my little thrift haul. I love them so much. So, I'm so excited. I thought I would show you. So I'm gonna eat this real quick and watch my video and then hang out a little bit and then leave. This is the outfit for the day. These are the new jeans. You can't really see the color well at all, but they're like the button-up kind too. And they look so good and they feel so good. Oh, like good fitting jeans are so hard for me to find for my body type. And at least for a good price, and I thrifted these on Depop. And I did my makeup and I curled my hair and I messed up my fun little swoopy thing there. And then I have this really old turtleneck from like H&M or Forever 21 from a very long time ago. But that's the outfit. I'm so happy about these jeans. They're so comfortable. And that's the thing too about jeans. Here, I realized I forgot to put mascara on. It's just really hard for me to find jeans that I like wearing. And yesterday, I even had like a little bit of a meltdown. Not like a meltdown, but I just wasn't feeling good about myself because I was like trying on a couple different outfits. I was trying on a couple different pairs of jeans, and I just didn't like how any of them looked on me. And I opened up about this recently on my Instagram, but I struggle with something called body dysmorphic disorder. And so when, like, I know my triggers, and I've been kind of triggered recently anyway because of a whole lot of different reasons. I feel like a lot of the time I feel worse when I feel like I don't have as much of a sense of control over my life, and with like the pandemic and everything and being laid off and applying to jobs and not really hearing anything back, it's just been hard recently, and I feel like it's moments like that where I feel like my body dysmorphic disorder gets worse. So, and like part of me is thinking that it's probably partially my birth control and maybe also like stress related, because I've tried different like pills before, and they've done this in the past, and this pill has worked pretty good for me because I struggle really, really badly with cramps that are just debilitating, and they help with that, but I feel really poorly about myself, and I feel like I haven't been in counseling in a long time. Counseling is expensive, and I haven't been able to find a counselor that I really like ever since I graduated from college, because I went to one back when I was in school at my university, and I went to one there and she was so great, and finding somebody who works like her and works as well with me like she did has proven to be difficult. And so I feel like it's kind of like all those things combined, and I've just like been a little bit of a mess lately when it comes to my, I don't know, I guess it's my mental illness. It's something I've dealt with ever since I was a very small girl, and I know that about myself, and it's good to have it identified. So because there was a period of time in my life when I didn't know that's what I had, and I thought that the thoughts that I was having were normal, and they're not. So I can film a longer video about this, because when I posted about it on my Instagram, I did like a little poll. I was like, would it be interesting to learn more about this and kind of like my journey, because I have struggled with this ever since I went through puberty, and I went through puberty really young. So I don't know, I've been thinking about it. It's gonna be a really difficult thing for me to film. I feel like I'm gonna get really emotional, especially since it's something I'm still struggling with, and it's really kind of rearing its head more. Like when I have ill-fitting clothes or clothes that feel really tight on me, that is a little bit of a trigger too. So yesterday it was like constantly in the back of my head, like thinking about it. And it's been kind of like that recently, where if I feel like my clothes don't fit right, or if I feel like I don't look the way I want to look, and I know it sounds really vain, and that's always kind of been something I've been ashamed of, but I think that, you know, like it's always in the back of my mind. So when I get a pair of jeans that make me feel good and they look good and they're not tight, and I can just go about my day without having to constantly think in the back of my head, like really like the bad body dysmorphic disorder thoughts, it's just such a relief, because like, and that's the thing, like my body, because of the hormones and because I'm a woman, I feel like our bodies change so much throughout the month, and like one day I'm really bloated and the next day I'm not, and then, you know, it's just, it can be difficult to navigate when you have like a mental disorder on top of it. So I don't know, that was a little bit of a rant, but I thought I would kind of open up about that, because I've posted about it recently on my Instagram, and I don't know. Let me know if you want me to do a full-length video. I probably will eventually, but if you want to see it sooner rather than later, if I get good responses to this, maybe I'll just buck up and do it. But on a lighter note, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to Target, I think. I need a face wash, I need a charger, I need a couple like food items, and then I think I'm going to do some baking, or at least some applesauce making. I've been thinking about it. I may not bake, I may just make applesauce. But I'll document all of that with you guys. I'm really comfortable, I'm really happy today. It's a better day today than it was yesterday. So I'm very happy about that. I stopped at the library quickly, and just look how pretty the trees are. Everything's starting to turn, and it makes me so happy. Alright, so this is the little Target overview. So I thought I'd just show you really quickly. It's pretty simple, but I thought I'd show you what I got. I got a couple cans of black beans, and a couple cans of petite diced tomatoes, and a couple cans of kidney beans, because I am planning on making chili possibly tonight for dinner. And also for that I got some tomato paste. I actually got 2. And then I went a little crazy in the soap section, because I really love the Mrs. Meyer's seasonal scents, and I found the Christmas ones, the winter ones. This one is, oh, here it is, here's the front. The Snowdrop scent. I got 2 of those because it smelled really pretty. And then I got 1 of the Iowa Pine hand soap, and then I got the Iowa Pine, I keep showing the back sides, the Iowa Pine dish soap, and I'm super excited about those because, sorry, it's disgusting in my sink right now. I love the Mrs. Meyer's apple cider scented hand soap for the fall. And so I thought I would carry on the tradition for the winter time. And then, trying to reach, I got this face wash. I'm almost out. This is what I use every single day. And then I've been out of my cellar water for a couple of days, so I just got that. I got some granola bars to have around for breakfast and things when I'm not really in the mood for something big. I got some potato rolls. And then I got some wraps. I got the sun-dried tomato basil. These are really good. I really like these, and then I really prefer potato rolls too. Alright, so I showed you my little Target haul, and I'm just sitting outside enjoying the nice weather. It's like not too cold. It's a little chilly, but not like super cold, so it's so lovely out. And I'm not going to show you the scene that I'm looking at because it shows my street, but like all the trees are turning and I can see like a mountain in the background, and it's just so beautiful. And of course, the moment I sit down, somebody starts mowing. I thought I would check in. I'm thinking about heading back out again because I feel like ever since I came back, even from the store, I feel like maybe it's just my imagination, but I feel like there are more fruit flies, and I'm just really frustrated by it because I really wanted to make applesauce today for the vlog, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen because there's too many and I don't want there to be like flies in the footage. I'm thinking I may go run to the grocery store and get some apple cider vinegar because I did a little quick Google search about like ways you can trap fruit flies, and one of the suggestions was getting like a bowl or a glass and filling it with apple cider vinegar and covering it with plastic wrap and poking little holes, and then that way they get trapped in there. I only have like a teeny tiny bit more of apple cider vinegar left, so I may go run to the grocery store that's near me really quickly and just pick that up, maybe see if they have pie crusts, so if I do want to do my sort of bake with me, I can film it tomorrow. I thought that might be fun. This video took a turn. It's not what I was expecting. I'm enjoying my front porch right now though. I'm taking a little bit of a breather, and I just love it on this front porch. It's so peaceful, and I have like a little wicker rocking chair if you can see, and I love it so much. And then I'm gonna flip you around after I'm done talking and show you my little chili plant that my boyfriend's mom gave me. It's the cutest little thing. I actually need to water it. I should probably do that before I forget. And I have a little pumpkin too, and I have a little pine cone, so it's a little bit of a mishmash, but it's really cute. Maybe I'll go fill up the watering can. I also have a mum plant like across from me, and I totally killed it. It should have been blooming by now, but I don't think I watered it enough, or maybe I overwatered it, or maybe it's just like, maybe it didn't get enough sunlight. I don't know what happened, but I killed it. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous autumn day. I showed you a couple little scenes from when I was out and about just now, like at the library and one of the roads that I take to Target. And yeah, this is my favorite time of year, especially the couple of weeks where all of the trees are in peak and all of the colors are just so vibrant and so gorgeous. I call it Red Week. That's what my parents always called it. And I think Red Week, we're either like at the very beginning of it, and I think that there are some trees that haven't turned completely yet, so I think the next week or two are going to be really gorgeous and really vibrant. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you for putting up with me as I've been complaining about these freaking fruit flies. It makes me mad, but it's fine. Here's the chili plant and the little pumpkin and the pine cone that I have out here. Just gonna water it, make sure she's fed. Maybe I should name it. I'm a fan of naming plants. I'll have to think of a good one. Cheyenne? That might be funny. Alright, so for Max, wow. I'm keeping that in. So for dinner tonight, we are going, Maxwell is here, we're gonna have dinner together. I have one of these Mediterranean chickpea patties and one of these vegan meat lovers patties. So we're gonna do a little burger night, and I have a slice of cheese for me. Maxwell won't have any. I'm gonna cut up some onion, maybe put some romaine on there, build a little bit of a burger bar, and I have broccoli in the microwave right now. So it's gonna be a fun little dinner. All right, here's dinner, and here's Maxwell enjoying his dinner.
Green beans, green beans.
Alright, so we're back from our night out, and we went, the last clip that you saw was us at the library. We went back because there was a really big sale. You could fill a whole big bag for $1, and Maxwell and I really hit the jackpot. So what I think I'm going to do is the next video you see is going to be me sharing everything that I got. I got 24 books, I think, for $2 basically. So I'll share everything that I got, a little mini book haul. Hello everyone, it's the next day. I thought I was going to end the vlog last night, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, maybe if tomorrow, like today, when I wake up, it's a little bit of a better situation in the kitchen, maybe I'll film a little bit more. And when I woke up this morning, I went out to the kitchen. I was a little afraid, but when I went out to the kitchen, I didn't see as many flies as there were yesterday. So I'm thinking it was the drains, like my mom had suggested. And I poured like so much boiling water down those drains yesterday that it looks like it did the trick. There are still like a couple of stragglers buzzing around, but I think they're the same ones from yesterday. It doesn't look like there's any new guys buzzing around here. So I think the situation is a little bit better. I thought I would continue the vlog today because my original intention was to share some apple recipes with you guys because I have so many that I need to use up. We're gonna have a productive day. I wasn't really expecting this little tag on, but I'm really excited to show you guys. Before I do any of that, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm gonna have a little something to eat, and then we're gonna make some applesauce or something because, believe it or not, that applesauce recipe is surprisingly easy if you have the right equipment and everything. So I think that is what today is gonna look like, and hopefully I get to read and write a little bit more too. And I've been doing a lot of research about self-publishing my poetry collection, and I think I talked about that a little bit before, I think, or I might not have, but I may do a little bit more research about self-publishing with Amazon too. So it's gonna be a full day, and we're gonna be seeing Maxwell later too, which is gonna be really fun. So, but I'm gonna have my coffee because I need coffee. I need it. And my little reindeer mug. That's the plan. That's where we're going next. All right, so for my lunch slash brunch, I'm gonna have a little egg, some green peppers, and I made myself a little wrap with onions and red peppers and romaine, and one of my veggie patties and some hummus on the bottom. And I'm probably gonna have some ranch on the side also, and my coffee and my little reindeer mug. All right, for the part that I've been waiting for very patiently or impatiently, but you know, I'm gonna make some applesauce using the recipe in my grandmother's cookbook and apples that I picked a couple weeks ago. Oh, sorry, the light is so bad. Apples that I picked a couple weeks ago when I was with my boyfriend and his family. I think oh my goodness. I have used the majority of the apples now, but I think in the beginning I had picked about like 20 pounds of apples. I went a little overboard, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and I still have this many apples left. So here's the recipe, and I'm going to be linking this entire recipe down below. It's funny, I actually about a year ago shared this recipe on my blog. Sometimes I like to share my grandmother's dishes. She had a whole bunch that were just really important to everybody in the family, and her applesauce was one of them. So I'm going to show you everything that you need. And first off, I need 6 to 8 apples. And I have, let me see how many apples I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 apples. So I'll probably use 7 out of all of these, and then that'll leave me with a couple to snack on in the next couple of days. So really quick, I'm gonna give you a little overview of the recipe and everything that you're gonna need. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys. It's surprisingly easy. Like, I hadn't made this recipe in a really long time. And when my uncle came to visit a couple weeks ago, he wanted to make it with me. And I kind of was like setting it up in my head to be this long, big deal, but it really wasn't. It was pretty simple, which you're gonna be seeing today. So what we're gonna be doing is taking the seven apples that we're using, and I'm gonna be coring them. I have a little apple corer that I'll show you in a second. And then we're gonna simmer them for 15 to 20 minutes with 2 cinnamon sticks. Here are my cinnamon sticks. I'm gonna show you all of this too. And then after they're done simmering, we're gonna put them through an apple sieve, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. And we're gonna have that over another bowl. And then we're gonna season with cinnamon and with a ½ cup of sugar, optional, but I think my grandmother liked to do it, 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine. And the last batch that I made with my uncle, we didn't put butter. And I actually think it's what makes it so smooth, because I remember my grandmother's being really like smooth and not very grainy, and ours tasted a little grainy. So I think this time I may put a little bit of butter in just to compare. So here is the recipe right there. It's so cute. She put a little apple sticker on it. And here's the cookbook as well. It's Elizabeth's copy. I wrote it in. And it just has all her little recipe cards, and she was able to give this to all the women in my family. So my aunts and my mom. And now this was actually her copy. So I technically have her copy, and it's one of the most special things I own. And here are the ingredients. So here's the bag of apples I'm gonna be using. And then here's my little canister of sugar, the cinnamon sticks, and the ground cinnamon for after it's done, when it needs to be seasoned. And I'll get the butter out of the fridge when it comes time. All right, and now here is the pot that I'm gonna be using to simmer the apple slices in. And then here is the sieve, or my aunt calls it a mill too. I'm gonna do some research and see if I can find something similar. So if you guys want to make this recipe at home but you don't have the equipment, I'll try to find you something similar. But this was my grandmother's, and you can kind of tell it has seen a lot of batches of applesauce over the years, but it still does the trick, and you're gonna see it in action very soon. All right, so the first step, of course, is taking your apples, and I'm gonna put them on the other side of the sink. I'm gonna wash the apples and put them in a bowl before I core them. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. All right, so the next step is taking the bowl of washed apples and then coring them using this apple corer. This is my grandmother's, but these are pretty easy to find. And then putting the slices in here, or the pot where we're going to be simmering them. And the really beautiful thing about this recipe, I'm not sure about other applesauce recipes, but because we're using the sieve, we don't need to peel these, which is really nice and is a huge time saver. Because whenever I've had to peel apples before, especially when I was making apple pies earlier in the month, oh, it's so labor intensive. It's really handy to not have to peel these and just core them. So I'm going to show you a little bit of me coring them, and then I'm going to set them to simmer. So I have the pot here on the stove, and I'm going to be putting them to simmer. So I'm taking, it says a ½ cup of water, but I have 1 cup here just in case. And it said, I think actually I said it wrong. You want it to be a ½ inch deep. So yeah, I think that was about right. And then 2 cinnamon sticks. And I have these 2 right here. Pop those in. And then it said a tablespoon of lemon juice, and I just take the lemon and squeeze it. I had this in the fridge already. And I don't really worry if seeds get caught up in there because they'll get caught by the sieve later on. So I don't really use a lemon squeezer for this particular recipe. And I'm going to set this to boil at first, and then when I see it's boiling, I'm going to let it simmer and cover it, and I'm going to be stirring it occasionally. And I'm going to stop the simmer when I see that they're like soft and I can take a spoon and slice through one of them without having to try too hard. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I put them through the sieve. Alright, our apples have been brought to boil, so I'm just going to take it off high and put it on between 1 and 2. And now I'm going to cover it, let her simmer. There are the apples. They are all done simmering. And now I'm going to put them through the sieve, and I'm going to show you everything that I do. So you take a bunch of spoonfuls of the apples, you put them in the sieve. So taking more of the apples, putting them into the sieve. So they're just like that. And then you take it, I like to use a nice sturdy bowl, and you crank. And then, as you crank and crank and crank, applesauce comes at the bottom. You really get an arm workout when you're doing this. Just putting all the apples in there. Right, here is the apple mill. Now you can see all the peels have kind of stuck there in the bottom. And then let me take this away. And there's the applesauce. And let me get the spoon, I'll stir it around. There it is. And now we're going to season it. I'm gonna say the recipe calls for a ½ cup of sugar, but my grandmother liked to use Cortland apples. And I think it really depends on the type of apples, how much sugar you put in. She put in the beginning of her recipe that yellow delicious apples can be used without sugar because they're really naturally sweet. So with Cortland, she wanted to use a ½ cup. And I'm not 100% sure what kind of apples I put in this. It was probably a little bit of a medley. So I'm going to be seasoning to taste. I'm going to put in a ½ cup of sugar, see how I feel, and then if I feel like it needs more, I'll add more. And then she doesn't have an exact amount of cinnamon to put in there. She just said season with cinnamon, so that's kind of up to your own taste as well. I personally like a lot of cinnamon, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And then, this is also optional, you don't need to put this in, but I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of butter. So here's 1 tablespoon. I'm going to drop that in, stir it in. Hopefully it's still a little bit warm so it melts. And a ½ cup of sugar. So I'm going to take my little canister. Pour that in, stir that in also. And then I'm gonna put in my cinnamon, and I'm probably just gonna sprinkle it in there. And then once this is all mixed, I'm gonna do a little bit of a taste test, but here, I'll show you what it looks like as I'm stirring. So it's all mixed together, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a taste test. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes like my childhood. This makes me so happy. I actually don't think I'm gonna add anything else. It tastes really good. It doesn't exactly make it healthy, but I do think the butter makes all the difference because it makes it really creamy and not as grainy. Oh my gosh, and I do think it brings out the cinnamon taste. If you like a lot of cinnamon and people in your family don't, you can always, when you serve it, have a little thing of cinnamon off to the side and just sprinkle on the top. It's perfect. So I'm gonna put this in Tupperware containers, and I'm probably gonna freeze some of it for the holidays. This is super easy to freeze and it lasts a really, really long time. I'm so excited to have some of this too. It tastes just like when my grandmother made it. And I'm gonna link this recipe down in the description box below so you can make it with me. And if you do, please be sure to tag me on Instagram. I'm at thegingerintrovert, because I would really love to see if you guys made it too, and if you like it, I would love to know your thoughts. These are the containers that this was able to fill. This is gonna go in the freezer for the holidays, but this little guy is gonna be for snacks. But I'm really excited that I got to show you guys this recipe. Oh my goodness, it's just so delicious, and it makes me think of my grandma, and I miss her a lot, so it's always good to kind of pay homage, as it were. So there's a lot of dishes. That's the thing. Like whenever I bake, I feel like I leave a lot of dishes, but because of my fruit fly extravaganza, I did try to be a little bit more clean, so there isn't as much as there was when my uncle was here. So I'm gonna get to work on that. And I'm gonna watch Cinderella while I do it, because you didn't get to see that because I filmed on my phone, but when the apples were simmering, I was watching Cinderella and it was super cute. So I'm gonna go do that and then I'll check back in after. I am back on my front porch and I'm just resting after finishing up the applesauce, and that was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to show that to you guys. It's such a fun little recipe to make, and it's so much simpler than you would think when thinking about making applesauce. So I'm going to link a similar apple sieve or apple mill, depending on what you want to call it, and I'm going to link the recipe below. And I think I'm going to end off the vlog here, and I think the next video you'll see will be me going through all the books I got at the book sale the other day. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the beginning of the vlog, just seeing me go about my day yesterday, and then I hope you enjoyed watching me make the applesauce tonight. If you make it, please tag me. I would love to see. And I hope you guys have a great day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps more than you know. And I can't wait to see you guys again later on, and I'll show you the books that I got. Alright, have a good day. Bye.